Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Our topic is optimizing construction operations, the crucial role of customized commercial work trucks and upfitting solutions. I am Mario Sawinski, the editor of Modern Work Truck Solutions, and I will be your moderator for today. The presentation today is approximately 30 minutes with an opportunity for Q&A to follow. Since everyone is muted, if you would like to ask a question, feel free to use the chat box that's on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, let's welcome our panelists from Sterling Fleet Outfitters, Wes Arnott and Jamie McDonald. Wes brings a wealth of experience to the webinar as a manager of product innovation in the commercial vehicle upfitting space, with a career spanning over 18 years in fleet upfitting. Wes has extensive experience from the shop floor to customer service to product design. He is currently leading the product design and development team at Sterling. Wes collaborates with fleet managers and users in the field to optimize equipment designs and layouts that precisely meet their operational needs and contribute to their effectiveness and efficiency. Welcome, Wes. Jamie serves as the sales manager at Sterling Fleet Outfitters, passionate about solving fleet and has over 6 years of experience in commercial upfitting. He has been instrumental in enhancing customer fleets by addressing issues ranging from maintenance to fuel efficiency. His insights into the critical role of customized work trucks and upfitting solutions will provide valuable perspectives for construction professionals looking to streamline operations and maximize efficiency. Now, after Wes and Jamie have done their presentation, we will open the virtual floor for any questions. If you have any questions during or after the presentation, please post them in the GoToMeeting chat box on the right. Now, without further ado, I'll pass it over to Wes and Jamie, and let's get started.
All right, well, thank you very much. Pull my screen up here. Thanks everybody for coming on today. My name is Jamie McDonald. I'm the sales manager here at Sterling Fleet Outfitters. Our webinar today is optimizing construction operations and the role that customized commercial vehicles play to that solution. As the North American construction industry undergoes a surge in new projects, addressing challenges that hinder the swift deployment of your fleet vehicles is critical. In this webinar, we hope to explore the indispensable role of customized work trucks and upfitting solutions in optimizing your fleet and help foster efficiency, ensure safety, and maintain cost effectiveness. First, a little bit about Sterling Fleet. We've been in business for 20 years. We're located in the Pacific Northwest, Vancouver, British Columbia. The founder of our company and the owner, Rob Buck, is the first guy in our area. He kind of pioneered aluminum shelving back at a time when everyone was making shelving out of wood or steel. We feel like we've come a long way. Innovation's always been a part of what we do here, and it continues to be today. Although we're based in Vancouver, we have a large presence in the United States. Our products are used and have been shipped to all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska. Recently, we also opened up a partner facility based in Cincinnati, Ohio, to better serve our American customers. We've been working with every sector of the construction industry since we started, providing turnkey van and truck packages to help your company get more done. Today, projects are more complex than ever, and they require careful planning, coordination, and execution. We're going to get going now. I'm proud to have worked on this project with Wes Arnott here. He's our manager of product innovation, and I'm going to let him take us through the first topic, building the foundation of efficiency. Wes?
Thanks, Jamie, and thanks everyone for joining today. So today we're going to talk about the foundation of efficiency in the context of vehicles that are used for construction, utilities, telecom, and other service and infrastructure work. Vehicles are one of the key tools of the industry, and overall efficiency of what they deliver is paramount. The costs related to vehicles, such as the initial purchase or lease, the fuel, maintenance, insurance, all these represent significant cost to companies everywhere. And looking at ways to right-size vehicles, choose vehicle types that are the most efficient for the role that they play, and designing of upfitting solutions that really maximize organization and tool accessibility within these vehicles are activities that have a significant payoff. Now, just before we go into our presentation a little further, I wanted to understand a little bit more about the sectors of the industries that our attendees are a part of. So we're just going to do a quick poll here. Just tell us what industry you're in, or as close as you can out of the couple selections that are there on the poll.
Yeah, poll should be up live now. So the options, obviously, general construction, utilities or electrical, service, telecom, mechanical. We're only limited to 5 options, so we had to keep it brief, but hopefully you can find a sector there that works for you. It's interesting, 60% in the service sector, West, 20% telecommunications. We do a lot of work on telecom. We're going to show some of our products in that field a little bit later here. So
that's really interesting.
Thank you. Looks like we've gathered just about all the feedback on there. So exciting, a wide range of different people with us today on the webinar, and we'll share a little bit more now.
Great. So in the fast-paced world of construction, time is money, obviously, and we were studying some recent reports that were published by Deloitte and CBRE, and we published a general result of it here, or sort of depicted a general result of it here. And what we're understanding is that in general, labor and material makes up 60 to 70% of the cost of a construction project, generally across the board, and with 40 to 50% of that being labor. So labor is a huge cost, and also the average hourly wage in construction has also increased since 2019 by 19%. So it's gone up 19% in the last 4 to 5 years. And studies also show that even a 10% reduction in labor costs can boost project efficiency by 2 to 3%, which is significant in the bottom line. So where we're going with that is one aspect that often gets overlooked in the discussion about labor cost management is labor productivity. We think it's a mistake to interpret cost management as merely slashing wages or downsizing the workforce, but more the real value we feel lies in minimizing waste, maximizing the output of every hour of work that's going into the project. And this can be achieved by adopting several strategies, such as providing regular training sessions for employees, streamlining work processes, equipping employees with the right tools and technology to do their work, and customizing of work vehicles is a real significant one that can boost productivity on these projects. Every minute that's wasted with inefficient processes or using inefficient equipment and tools can impact the bottom line, and that's why having the right tools, including efficiently set up vehicles, is crucial. That being said, can you imagine a project where technicians get to site and spend precious time searching for tools or struggling to access equipment within their vehicle they need to get the job done? I'm sure many of us have seen the vehicle on the left there. Really hard to find anything that's in there. You don't know where it is, what it is. And so that type of thing really slows down the progress of a project and the deliverables to a customer, but it actually also increases the risk of errors and accidents. If you look at the vehicle on the right, this may not be perfect, but it is a real work vehicle and a real work day, and everything has a place where it's meant to be. It's easy to access, there's good lighting, there's grab handles, and it's just much more efficient. And time spent looking for tools and equipment in a vehicle is just straight waste, and even worse, driving to a supply house to purchase supplies and materials that the technician thought they had in the vehicle. Those are major time traps that consume resources. But what we find when talking to customers is that these types of waste often get overlooked, and they just run into overheads of the job. And what we're suggesting here is that if these wastes can be reduced, and they can be in many cases through effective and thoughtful vehicle upfitting design, then there can be a significant positive contribution to the bottom line. I guess my overarching message here is that well-equipped van and trucks vans and trucks that are, right sized, equipped with the right features so that everything's clear, accessible, the work can be done struggle free. It can enhance efficiency and speed of delivery of projects. The good news is that with companies with vehicle fleets and that have these challenges, you're not on your own. By collaborating with upfitters that have years of industry experience, there's many of them nationwide that do tailoring of work trucks to specific applications. Companies in construction industries and related industries can be confident about optimizing their fleet for efficiency and productivity. Customized vehicle upfitting solutions contribute to profitability, but they also help ensure that projects stay on budget and on time. And investing in customized work vehicles may seem like an additional expense to a company, but it's actually a strategic decision that can lead to significant cost savings in the long run. So I wanted to just give an example here. This is a quick video, and it's an example of a vehicle application that's set up to perform like we've been trying to describe here. This particular unit is a slide-in capsule that's designed to slide into the back of a 3/4 ton or 1 ton pickup truck, and it offers a lot of versatility and benefits at a very reasonable cost. Being in a full-size truck, these vehicles are readily available and they offer quite good efficiency. So this is a weatherproof capsule that easily ships to multiple locations, or really anywhere that a truck can get to, which is pretty well nationwide, continent-wide, easy to install on a truck, standard pickup truck as you see here, and the unit can be dropped on with a forklift, and the unit can be work ready and roll into the field the same day. Off-road capable, so that's a key point with a lot of rural projects, construction projects, and at the same time quite maneuverable, easy to maneuver in city and urban locations. So you can park up at a curb and doesn't take a lot of space like a trailer or a larger vehicle would do. You can see there's good access to ladders, and as the video plays out here, you'll see the access within the cab. 40-60 rear doors give great access for climbing in and out for the operator. This particular unit is set up for the fiber optic industry, and we have, there's a lot of other applications where we build these for as well. This is showing an onboard power system, so the unit's totally self-supporting as far as power goes. Fire up the generator, and through a power distribution system, it powers the lighting and air conditioning in this case. You can see on the roof, there's a side mount ladder rack that gives real quick and easy, secure ladder storage with easy access for minimal strain on the operator. Just gonna pause it there for a minute. I just wanna point out the lighting in this unit. So this is a night work application. You've got really good lighting inside and out, so the operator can see everything they need to do really well with the interior LED lighting. And then the outside, we've got safety and warning lighting for traffic coming from either directions can pick this thing up from quite a distance. Just provides that additional safety and efficiency of work. Inside, you've got really good space to work, so over 6 foot clearance, visibility, and windows that open for ventilation, lockable storage within, and this particular unit's insulated for better climate control in winter or summer. This is a different build. This one's set up for materials handling repair and equipment repair. Got onboard compressed air, onboard power. You can see the headroom that he's describing there. And so just a lot of benefits to a unit like this, and I think it just ties in with what we're trying to describe, the efficiency that's thought through for the application. And you can see here how nimble and easy these are to maneuver around. So I'm just going to pause it again. These slide-in caps, they're transferable from vehicle to vehicle, which is another great benefit. So vehicles are often leased for a period of time. I think Jamie's going to talk about that a bit more here. But this whole unit can be transferred at end of life to a new lease, and that the new vehicle can be on the road again These units last for a long period of time, and they're also really versatile for a crew. So you can have the crew in the front up to 5 or 6 passengers in some cases, and then the workstation in the back separates the workspace from the cab, and keeps the heating and cooling in the cab for those trips to the site, and keeps all the tools and equipment in the back. So it keeps the noise and everything out of the driver compartment. So just wanted to give a demo of what we're trying to describe here in terms of efficient work vehicles. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jamie here for some key insights regarding retaining skilled technicians.
Thanks, Wes. Yeah, it's good video. Well thought out. Design is critical. And I think we can all agree that skilled workers, labor, are the backbone of any construction company. Yet retaining them is a real challenge for many companies in our industries. One way to supplement your technician retention strategy is to consider the vehicle and tools that you're equipping them with to do their important work. Customized vehicles, they play a critical role in this equation. By investing in top-notch equipment and resources, you're demonstrating your commitment to providing them the best tools to complete their job. It not only enhances your retention, but boosts your overall productivity and project success. I wanted to cite an interesting study. It was done by the Associated General Contractors of America. They found that 91% of construction firms had a hard time finding workers to hire. This is driving up costs and project delays. It's not a small issue. It's North America wide, obviously up here in Canada as well. In addition to that, I think it's very interesting to note that 98% of the 12,000 companies surveyed in this study said that at the present time, they also have open positions that need to be filled. So besides retaining your staff, the ability to attract new talent is extremely important, and it could be putting your growth plans at risk if you can't attract that talent. So the key is creating a quality environment that your workers are excited about working in. It can help you get the most out of that current workforce and make sure that they stay with you. What we're all striving for is an environment where employees are engaged enough that when the phone call comes through from the recruiter, they say, you know what, I'm good. My company is taking care of me. They're giving me the tools to do my job effectively. If we had a look at the average worker's day and quickly added up the amount of time they spent interacting with or inside their vehicle and equipment, I think what we'd find is that from the time they leave their front door in the morning to the time they get home at the end of the day, besides their lunch break, they're interacting with that equipment all day long. And the psychological impact for your workforce of working with a tool all day, every day, that isn't efficient or doesn't help them do their job is fairly immeasurable. On this slide, you'll see some more samples of professionally done outfitting jobs at our facility that Sterling or any other accredited outfitter across North America can help you design. These are meant to help you get the most out of your technicians across any trade. By customizing vehicles to specific needs, such as turning them to mobile offices with adjustable laptop mounts and power outlets, productivity can be boosted. For example, a sliding capsule like Wes was showing before with a pull-out bed and side-mounted boxes, seen in this top photo right here. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them later. They can reduce back strain and lower risk of injuries for employees who frequently have to access the bed of the truck. Similarly, a well-designed shelving system with LED lights can improve efficiency while your workers are looking for various parts and components. They can see what they're looking for. While we're on the topic of work vehicles, I wanted to ask another poll question. You're going to see it on your screen here. I'll just launch it. What are the primary types of vehicles operated by your fleet team? So you got vans, pickup trucks, service bodies, slipping capsules, or heavy duty trucks. Vans, almost everyone's using vans, and pickup trucks. Yep, and some heavy equipment on there as well. Well-rounded fleets, obviously. Service bodies. Yeah, I think what we find, Wes, maybe you can chime in here too, is we work with customers that they do. They host a wide variety of vehicles in their fleet, depending on the specific requirements.
Yeah, there's a lot of variation, but the interesting one is nobody on this is using slip-in caps yet, which is one of the biggest things that we work on here. So we're excited about that opportunity to show you a bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much. Close the poll. We got everyone in there. And going to back to Wes.
All right. So we're going to talk a bit about safety and how it should always be a priority in any industry. It is a priority in any industry, and it's an employer's moral and legal obligation to prioritize that for employees wherever they are. So the deliberate choice of upfitting equipment for construction and service vehicles, it can significantly impact job site safety and ultimately the well-being of our personnel that are performing the work. Some examples of upfitting solutions for vehicles that contribute to safety include equipment like exterior warning lighting, reflective decaling, access steps and grab handles for three-point access in and out of vehicles, non-slip surfaces, interior lighting for good visibility once they're inside a vehicle, especially in dark environments, nighttime work, and also drop-down ladder acts. All these type of things contribute significantly to reduction of injuries. And it's important we don't overlook these when we're specifying equipment for our work vehicles. I think it's a wise thing to do to stand back and think about the scenarios that the team members that are using the vehicles can find themselves in, the tasks that they're required to do on a workday, and then putting the necessary safety measures in place to prepare for the unexpected. After all, we're dealing with human lives and their families. We can't afford to be too careful. So it's important to consciously prepare for unforeseen circumstances and prevent unsafe situations. Another thing that ties in here with safety, just wanted to bring it to your attention, is the topic of working with an upfitter to determine the electrical power requirements of work vehicles. In many cases, it's critical and necessary to have a reliable power supply when working remotely and to effectively run safety, task lighting, power tools, climate control, heat and AC. All of these work towards safety and well-being of workers, and we're seeing an increase in demand for climate control and mobile workstations just due to climate change. It seems to be getting warmer in the summer and in some places colder in the winter. There's also more electronic devices being used within work vehicles, and all these things require power to be supplied, power these things, and must be considered, we feel, when planning an upfit. So we wanted to just point out, we've included a downloadable white paper in the resources on this webinar. So you can download that, and it provides some insights into power systems, some comparisons between inverter systems and generator systems, and some pros and cons of both, just to help you potentially, or others that you may know, to specify power systems that work best for the application. Yeah. We're also available to answer questions or help spec things out as others may have requirement to do so. So we also wanted to talk briefly about the topic of ergonomics as related to safety, which ergonomics focuses on designing to reduce fatigue and discomfort for operators. It's really crucial for productivity, we feel, especially with the fact that the workforce in North America is gradually aging by the statistics. The American Association for Retired Persons predicts a significant rise in the number of workers aged over 55 and even over 65 as a separate age bracket. This means that it's important, really important, to prioritize vehicle upfitting designs that cater to those age groups, ensure that they're safe, ensure that we prevent injuries. Because as we know, as people age, they usually experience a decline in physical strength, flexibility, more susceptible to back pain, joint stiffness, experience discomfort more easily. They typically have lower reaction times and decreased agility, which makes them more prone to accidents. So ergonomic design of upfitting can help compensate for these things by making equipment on the vehicle easier to reach, operate, and ensure that the layout and the operation of the vehicle minimizes strain on the body. And it also provides a more pleasant working environment, which reduces fatigue and increases productivity. As Jamie mentioned a few minutes ago, retaining experienced workers is a challenge across all industries. And that's why it makes it important for us to maintain industry knowledge within our organizations. So in many cases, the talent that the older personnel have from all their years of experience is difficult to replace. And by accommodating their needs through ergonomic designs that encourage them to remain in the workforce longer, they can contribute longer, continue contributing their valuable skills and knowledge. And once again, professional upfitters can assist by providing solutions to customize vehicles to meet these requirements and support well-being, longevity of the workforce, which ultimately benefits both the employee themselves and also the organization as a whole.
I wanted to tell a few stories, but obviously there's a serious cost to the injuries coming from improperly upfitted equipment or the downtime associated with fleet equipment replacement and the repair and maintenance of that equipment. When I speak with customers across different industries, what I hear consistently is that keeping your fleet up and running and quickly deployable is absolutely critical. The time frame from contract award to shovels in the ground can sometimes just be a matter of weeks. It seems like it's always moving up. And having assets that can be quickly deployed are really critical. So I'd like to tell a couple stories here about from our customers that have had serious financial implications and might leave you with something to think about. Over the years, we've had a few situations where our capsules that we sell have been involved in either a rollover or a flip over accident. This one is a telecom provider. He's located in Tennessee. He's parked next to that stream when the bank below his truck eroded underneath the weight of his truck. You can see it kind of fell down the bank, landed on its side. The capsule on there is one of our fiberglass units. We think it's the toughest in its class. When it landed in the river there, it was virtually undamaged. And the picture on the right-hand side of your screen is that same capsule mounted on a brand new Chevy less than a week later. It took him 3 days to find a new truck. This was back before the age of vehicle inventory shortages, and only 4 hours to switch the cap. So from fairly catastrophic accident with the vehicle being a write-off to on a new truck and back working was a total of 4 days. I think it's important to think about if the worst does happen, if one of your vehicles is involved in an accident, how can you get your fleet back up and running quickly and ensure that you complete your project on time. There's another situation, it wasn't a customer but that we know of, was a fleet opted to set up their own ladder rack system, cargo system on the roof for primarily the carrying of ladders. They reuse an old Thule rack, like an SUV type ski rack, use some rope to tie the ladders down on top of their van. That was a decision that unfortunately had tragic consequences. One day, the driver of the vehicle failed to tie the ladder down, and it came off the rack on a freeway, hitting the car behind him and resulting in a fatality. Obviously, serious psychological trauma for everybody involved in that, and their business sadly never recovered from that incident.
So along with that, protecting assets and investments is critical in all industries, and none more than in the construction industry. Unfortunately, trade vehicles, construction vehicles that have graphics and branding on them, they're great for marketing, but they also tell a story about what could be inside those vehicles. So they're often targets for theft and vandalism due to high value materials, machinery, power tools, testing equipment. In the refrigeration industry, for example, you've got vacuum pumps and recovery machines that pretty much every technician's carry, and that's known outside of the industry. So Customized work trucks and vans could help mitigate these risks by incorporating security features such as, give some examples here, GPS tracking, immobilizers, physical deterrents such as heavy duty external locks. You'll see a few examples of those on the screen, and partition barriers in vans, and also locking drawer systems like you can see on the left-hand side that secure more valuable equipment even within the vehicle and help prevent access even from someone who manages to get into the vehicle. So by investing in quality security equipment and implementing robust security measures, companies can safeguard their investments and ensure that their projects continue. It's not only about protecting the tools and equipment, it's also about protecting the livelihoods of the workers who are using these vehicles to do their job, and it impacts the success of the whole organization.
Finally, I want to talk a little bit about the long-term value of your customized work vehicles. You know, investing in the units isn't about short-term gains. It's about laying the groundwork for sustained success for the technician and for your company. You know, from increased productivity to higher resale value, your fleet vehicle should offer you a strategic advantage in a competitive market. I've noticed a couple of people on the attendees list from the leasing industry, so talking about resale value, that's really kind of speaking their language. I think by aligning your trucks or your vans, whatever you're using, with your specific project requirements and the industry standards, your companies can enhance their value and longevity as assets. They become more than just tools. They're driving the efficiency, safety, and the profitability of your company for the years that they're in service. Besides what operational efficiencies a well-designed vehicle can provide, there's a hidden cost that lurks in the weeds of the upfitting world. What if the outfit that you put in your vehicle starts to cost your company money? Pictured above is a potential water damage situation in a unit that is not designed to be watertight. It condensates on the inside. We call these here and in the US DCU canopies. I'm sure most of you have them in your fleet in some degree. There's hundreds of thousands of them running around North America. That condensation can lead to rusty tools. It can lead to corrosion damage in the bed of the truck. Electronics and expensive tools that are in there can get damaged by that water, humidity in the air. So it can lead to tool replacement. Also health, safety, and general productivity and employee happiness. Nobody wants to pull out their brand new toolkit out of their truck after a 2-week holiday and find rust spots all over it. Build quality that stands the test of time is also a consideration. And thinking about the future of your fleet as well as the present, right? Typically the upfitting and the vehicle asset were tied together. Upfitting doesn't usually get moved from unit to unit. We challenge that perception with the concept of a transferable body like this. It's designed to last 2 to 3 truck lives. I'm going to go over that in a minute here. And the units are easily transferred from truck to truck, as you can see here, the forklift in the back door and a wiring harness. Here you've got 2 different styles of constructions in a typical topper unit. This is the same as where we saw the condensation before. The one on the right is the one on the left is a simple aluminum capsule with aluminum tubing reinforcing it and nothing else. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, you have a reinforced fiberglass unit built with wood and metal supports inside to maintain the integrity of the unit over time. The build quality can dramatically extend the life of the unit. It might be the difference between having to replace something halfway through a truck life or keeping it. Some other examples that we've talked about a little bit, but to wrap up here, of effective planning include organizing your vehicle so that you can access it from all the way around, especially in a pickup truck. Technicians climbing in and out is a health and safety hazard. Equipping units with rear cameras so technicians can see where they're driving prevents damage to your vehicles. Making sure that you have a capable cargo carrying capacity if you need to carry materials to job sites. And And equipping something with a bed slide, like I said, maintaining access to the entire unit. So in summary, there's a couple of points just on these two units we've been contrasting a little bit. So the contractor package is what we call that fiberglass unit. You know, for Sterling, we have those units in stock. I can't speak for other upfitters. We have them built, ready to go. We're a DCU. If you ordered one today, you're looking at 14 to 20 weeks, which is a real problem that we're having in the industry right now. Durability, like I talked about, 12 plus years, multiple vehicles. A DCU will stand up for 4 or 5 years. If it's getting, you know, used very hard on back roads, maybe even less than that. Resale value of the vehicle. This is really important. The truck bed is kept near new if you're using something like a contractor package. So it just goes, slips in the back, protects the bed, and when it gets pulled out, you have a brand new bed. Versus a DCU, you've got tools, materials being thrown in there, damaging the bed that can drop the resale value. And one bonus is the resale value of the actual canopy. At the end of the life of a fiberglass unit, you can take that off, sell it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and get a little bit of residual value, a few $1,000s back. Or a DCU goes to the junk pile at the end of its life. Like I was talking about a little bit, here's a bit of a cost breakdown. So that package that we were looking at runs about $18,000. I just contrasting that with what is the main competitor or main comparable product for it. It's a DCU. DCU upfitted with a bed slide and shelving runs around $9,000 Canadian. Yeah, both these figures are Canadian. Sorry about that for our American audience, but it just means you get a better price. So you're spending $9,000 on each fleet cycle. So every 4 years, you're paying that $9,000 again, where you can keep your contractor package for up to 12 years, pay once. Here's a few more images of well laid out units, a place for everything and everything in its place. In vans specifically, wall lining and floor lining can do wonders for the resale value of your vehicle. So walls can get nicked and dings in them, even creating rust spots on the outside, cracks in the paint. If contractors are throwing equipment or materials around inside, and the floor lining maintains the integrity of the floor of that van, and then when it comes out, there's no damage. So keeps the resale value up there. And lastly, before I finish here, sorry about that, not to drone on, but seat covers. They're a small investment. The average set runs about $300 to $400 for a very high-end pair, but they can result in a much higher resale value. I know the leasing guys on the call would agree with that. Everybody's seen a work truck with foam hanging out of the seats and grit and grime all over, and it can cost thousands of dollars to repair those seats depending on the model of the vehicle, versus a $300 investment in seat covers. It just looks like the seat's never been used once you take it off.
So in conclusion, the role of customized commercial work trucks and upfitting solutions in optimizing of productivity really can't be overstated. Remember, success in any field begins with the right tools, and customized work trucks are a cornerstone of that success in the construction industry. We've got a simple checklist here on the screen that gives just some high-level guidance on what should be considered when customizing work vehicles. Just go over that briefly. Build in efficiency, tailor the vehicle to the specific application in order to optimize its productivity. Engage your workforce by showing investment in their safety and well-being, and protect and safeguard your assets and your reputation through strategic investment in vehicle equipment. Want to emphasize that the need for proactive strategy in balancing safety and efficiency and cost effectiveness. So at Sterling, as Jamie mentioned, we offer turnkey vehicle equipment packages, both the slide-in caps that we've seen on a couple occasions here, and also some high roof van packages for specific industries. The telecommunication industry is one that we do a lot of work in. And these have really been proven by contractors nationwide, and they benefit efficiency, safety, employee retention, and all these critical things we've been speaking about. We also provide installation of these through partners that service the whole of central USA. So if you're interested in these, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to speak to you further. So that concludes our presentation today, and I want to thank you all for joining us. We are going to open the floor for some questions. So go ahead, Mario, and open the floor for some questions, and we'll.
All right. Thank you very much, Wes and Jamie. That was a great presentation. A lot of very important points were raised. On that note, as you mentioned, we will move on to our question and answer part of the webinar. If anyone has any questions for Wes and Jamie about their presentation or the topic as a whole, don't forget to post it in the chat tab now. A few have come in during the presentation. Regarding the slide-in capsules that you spoke about, how would you compare their functionality with the trailers that many construction contractors use?
Yeah, that's a great question. We didn't touch on trailers very much in the presentation there, but very common asset in the fleet. I guess a couple of things on the capsule side is a cap is much more off-road capable. So utilizing the 4x4 of the truck can get that unit anywhere. They're also nimble and maneuverable, as Wes showed in that video, can turn the unit around in a city street with minimal backing up or jackknifing. It's better for parking, etc. More secure, so fiberglass capsule locks on the doors. Trailers typically just a thin aluminum sheet material. If a thief knows what's in there, it's a quick access scenario. And like I've said probably ad nauseum now, but they're transferable. They can go 3 or 4 truck lives, depending on how long you keep your units. And no brakes or the tires to maintain as well. I think that's a factor.
I mean, as far as trailers go, there's no doubt that you can get a large trailer, which is good and bad. If you need a large cargo space, you can get more in a trailer than you can in a slide-in body, slide-in cap. But that brings with it fuel consumption. It brings with it maneuverability challenges. In winter, a big trailer is a bit of a hazard for slippery roads. And for off-road use, you saw the video of how a capsule can go off-road as much as a truck can. So that type of terrain with a trailer can be a challenge. So there's pros and cons to both, but the slide-in caps have a couple of really key benefits, we think, to trailers. Hopefully that helps with the question.
All right, we did get another question. Someone asked that they would like to know a little bit more about the pickup pack.
Pickup pack, yeah. So I'm hoping I'm referencing the right unit here, but we do sell a product called the pickup pack. It's an aluminum slip-in unit. We have quite a few of those in service. They've got toolbox access on the sides, large door at the back where you can access, and then you can have a bed slide in there, storing your tools. There's cargo racks. That is what we call the pickup pack. If you're talking about the fiberglass units there, happy to I'll reach out to you and happy to make sure I touched on the right thing there.
Yeah, the pickup pack, as we call it, like Jamie was saying, is not as the same as the units we're seeing on the screen right now. It's not a slide-in body per se, but it essentially changes the application of a pickup truck to more like that of a service body without the expensive upfit of a service body.
Yeah, great points.
They're all aluminum as well, the pickup pack, just to contrast them with the fiberglass units that we're looking at here on the screen.
Thanks, Logan.
All right. Do you have some key points to consider if comparing standard aluminum or fiberglass truck canopies to the cab height slide-in capsules that you showed?
Yeah, do you want to take that one, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. The standard aluminum canopies, they're a lower upfront cost. They definitely a lower price tag to start with. However, that often gets made up in frustration. Yeah. We find a lot of customers that have been using them for a long time when when they see the slide-in fiberglass units, they wish they'd seen them earlier. The aluminum ones they often leak water. In addition to condensation, they often leak water at the doors. They're less secure, and they don't last near as long. So they're also vehicle specific, which is an important point. I don't know if we made that, but the aluminum canopies, the DCU style, if you buy one for an F-150 model year 2020, for example, when it comes to 2024, the likelihood of that fitting on even the same vehicle spec in the different model year is not very high at all. In fact, in most cases, it's not even possible. So whereas the slide-in units can be transferred, they're universal to all the different OEMs, as long as the length of the pickup box, that's sort of the only fixed dimension. So a 6.5 foot bed will fit in a 6.5 foot bed, Ford or Dodge or GM.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we talked about a few of these points in the presentation, but obviously the fiberglass units that we've showed here are typically much more heavy duty. They stand the test of time, water and dust proof. They're one piece mold, which is kind of interesting. So when they get built, mold, the fiberglass goes around, the mold actually pulls out the back doors. So there's no seams. It's not going to leak on you. That's an important factor.
All right. Are you seeing many companies using vans for construction work? What are the pros and cons of vans compared to slide-in canopies?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. In the poll question there, we saw that, let me just make sure I got my number right here, 80% of companies on this webinar are using vans in their fleet. So, vans, I think typically the number one thing is more interior workspace, depending on the van. If you get a extended long wheelbase transit or sprinter van, there's quite a bit of room inside that. It can have a lower upfront cost than a truck and cab combination. It does depend on the upfitting and the model of van. Sometimes a F-250 with a capsule can be more effective. And then for vans, one big thing is side door and curbside access can be beneficial to easily access in and out of that vehicle.
And as far as caps go, we've talked about transferability a number of times. Now that's a key factor. Off-road capability, vans are not great off-road in many cases. And also the fact of the cab of a truck being separate from the cargo area is a big thing to think about. Operators like to operate a truck because, there's lots of space, they're comfortable. When you turn on the heat, they heat up and stay warm. Whereas a van, a lot of that gets lost in the cargo space of a big vehicle. So also transport more people with a truck, with a crew cab truck. Like I said, 5 or 6 workers can be transported to site. And if you have a generator or other engine-driven equipment on board, it keeps that isolated in a cab, keeps it totally isolated from where the driver and passengers are traveling, just for noise and smell and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question.
Good question.
All right. What are the options, pros and cons, in terms of power systems for mobile work vehicles?
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's something we talk about with customers, every time they call in. So there's 2 main types of systems. There's a generator-based power system supplying power to the unit via generator, or there's inverter/inverter charger where the power comes from either the main or auxiliary batteries. For generators, there's consistent high power output, power delivery, as long as there's fuel available to that generator. They're better for running high electrical loads like for climate control or heaters. Some cons, generator, they require refueling, so carrying gas or diesel in your vehicle to make sure you have fuel for that unit. Noise and exhaust from a generator can be a factor as well, and a theft target. Generators, a small Honda 3000, is about $3,000. So at the minimum, and they just go up from there. So easy for people to target vehicles with those.
Yeah, and as far as inverters and inverter chargers, a lot of good things about them. They're really quiet. You can't hear them at all, so that's great. They don't give off any emissions. They don't require refueling. So those are all, really great benefits. However, you've also got to consider there is limitations if they're powered by batteries. So batteries have a runtime. They have a limited capacity for output at the full demand of the unit. So you have to plan on recharging. So either by plugging into an on-site source or a backup generator, planning on recharging at night with like an inverter charger system. The ones we install, they'll have an exterior power plug-in, so you can run an extension cord to the building at night and recharge an entire battery bank. However, running a load like a vacuum cleaner, pump, supply air fan, these things that require a decent amount of power, running those for a long period of time requires a lot of battery capacity. So I'd point you back to the white paper that's available, because that sort of goes through all these scenarios and explains the pros and cons, and sort of gives we think, a pretty balanced assessment of power systems and how to tailor the power system that you need to your application.
Yeah, thank you for that. And hey, Wes, I got one more here. This is a really good one. Are the capsules able to be fitted with TIG/MIG welders?
Yeah, good question. We have done some, not real recently, but I think definitely would be, but the ones I'd be familiar with would be engine driven. So like a welder that has its own, like a self-sustaining welder, if you know what I mean. So it's got its own fuel supply, sort of a standalone unit. What we would do in that case would be to ventilate the exhaust from the unit to the exterior of the cap. We do that with air compressors that are engine driven. Like probably saw in the video there was an air compressor inside the unit. And in that case, the exhaust is piped to the exterior, so the unit can operate indefinitely inside, and the exhaust is vented externally. So the same thing could be done with a welder. I would say absolutely. It's a good question and also a good challenge.
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess we're almost nearing the end, so we got one more question. What would you say is the #1 takeaway that attendees should take from the webinar?
Yeah, good one. I think for me, the biggest thing is sit down with someone and think through the application of your fleet vehicles and what kind of work those workers are doing out of them. There's always ways to find efficiencies, to find cost savings, to increase safety. We talked about a lot of the ways that it can benefit as far as employee retention, resale value of your vehicles. I think it's, to be thoughtful about your fleet, and it's something that I'm passionate about, is helping our customers achieve more and get more out of their fleet. We're happy to sit down, no obligation, and work with folks to make that happen.
And that's really what our complimentary fleet assessment's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to just explain that one?
Yeah, so there's a QR code on your screen there. I promise our sales team, my sales guys, won't hound you if you scan it. But if you're interested, we'd love to sit down with some of you folks and learn a little bit about the work you do and see if there's a fit, and we can find a way to give you some support or some insights on to what we're seeing in the industry, and make your fleet, to help your fleet get more done. And I do really want to thank everybody who came on today, listened to us go on for an hour here. We're really grateful to Modern Work Truck Solutions for giving us a platform to do this webinar and to speak with construction leaders like yourself. We're really passionate about helping companies get more done. It's our brand message. It's right there in our logo. We want to work with you and your operation team to make your fleet more efficient and work for you to help construct more communities across North America. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you once again, Wes and Jamie, for a great presentation and answering a great cross-section of questions that came in from attendees. We have now reached the end of the Optimizing Construction Operations, the Crucial Role of Customized Commercial Work Trucks and Upfitting Solutions webinar, presented by Sterling Fleet Outfitters. Thank you to all of our attendees for joining us today. If you have any other questions about the topics discussed, don't hesitate to contact NWS or our speakers. Thank you once again, Wes and Jamie, for the great webinar. And everybody, have a great day.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.